as always. Welcome back. This month, the world shines a light on an issue that's often hidden behind closed doors: domestic violence. You know, for many, home should be a place of love and safety. But for too many others, is a place for silence, a place of silence, a place of fear, and a place of pain. That sanctuary that we build for ourselves, you know, for some of us, it's become a place of pain, a place of hurt, and all of that. Today, we're breaking that silence. We're going to talk about it. You know, we're going to shine the light, join the rest of the world to shine the light on it and bring to fore this thing called domestic violence. And we hope that through this conversation, we'll do more than bringing to fore. We will cause people to become aware and just go beyond awareness to take action, and then go beyond action to transform pain to purpose. That's what we're going to do. Welcome everyone to this stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, Welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, Today we're breaking that silence, and we're breaking that silence with a very phenomenal guest today. My guest is someone whose life's work has been about giving voice to the voiceless and healing to the wounded. She is a feminist leader, a development practitioner, and the executive director of Women's Rights and Health Project, WRAHP. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome Mrs. Bose Ironsi. See, if I begin to read her profile, we will not have this conversation. So I'm going to ask everyone to please go on our platforms and get to read her very, very robust profile. This woman has poured out all of her life and all of herself into ensuring that people speak, not just speak, that they live after they live, that they don't die, in a nutshell. But go read about it so that you can get to know her some more. But right now, I'm going to ask all of you to please give her a very warm welcome. I want to see you typing. Welcome, welcome, Bosse. It's nice to have you on the show. Welcome, mommy. It's nice to have you on the show. Yeah. It's so wonderful to have you, sincerely. Good morning again.
Good morning.
Okay. Everybody, if you can hear her, please let me know. Let me hear you say, type for me in the comments. I can hear her. Yeah. Let me know that you can hear all of us. Welcome, welcome. I see some very constant people on the show. Good morning, Janet. Good morning, Happiness. It's so good to have you guys join us as always. Can you please hear us? Let us know. Bosse, please, can you say something?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Very happy to be here.
Okay. If you heard her, please let me know so that we can go on with this show. Yeah. I'm waiting to hear from you. Yes. Okay, great. They can hear you. So now I am comfortable with that. Um, Good. So thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and help us. Of course, I'm sure you're one of the people who take the decisions that October is the month for domestic violence. So I'm sure that you've been up, and running with it from your own end. Can you just tell us in a very, very simple layman's language, what exactly is domestic violence? Let's even start from there to be sure that everybody understands.
Well, thank you, Ezinne. I want to say that this topic is one of the various discussions that I'm very passionate, and I'm happy to be here. So, domestic violence, I will put it is any pattern of behavior used to gain power or control over another person in an intimate or family relationship. Violence generally is about power and control. But for domestic violence, it is done between people in a relationship, whether intimate or family relationship.
And what we can do. Okay, so she's back on. Go ahead.
So over the years for us, for us at WRAHP, we have seen several things, and which include physical violence, economic violence, emotional violence, and usually what people talk about, but you realize that there are all people don't talk about, and which is also very, very important that we talk about. Especially the one we see most is the physical, the one the blood is dripping out, there's a arm and all that. But there are salient violence. When you are in a relationship, you are in maybe at home and all that, you are constantly abused, you are deprived of love, you are deprived of a lot of things. Then you have verbal abuse. You know, I used to tell people in my sessions globally, I used to say that abuse is the end of all other forms of abuse. Before somebody is given a slap, there must be communication, say, do person, all that and all that. So verbal abuse is also a sign. I don't know why I'm even think you are think you are one of the worst person I can. That's a then emotional abuse, you are in a place nobody is to, you are you are actions that are being taken. That's emotional. And people never report that. The only thing we post is for domestic violence take care of all this. Then economic who probably has a master degree or work has gone to school, so you can't work. And then he determines how much you get, determines how much you get. And then say that domestic violence is not only about both men and women receive.
Thank you. Thank you very much because
And the people that pay the price for those abuse are the innocent children born into the.
thank you very much. Thank you because I wanted you to establish this because most times when we talk about domestic violence, people only talk about the basbos, the one that they hit you, you have black eye or your head is broken or anything. But thank you for mentioning other kinds of abuse. And most importantly, thank you for reminding us that men are also subjected to domestic violence from women, and women are also are subjects of domestic violence from men as well. You know, and even though I'm a layman, let me add that domestic violence is not only between spouses;
No, it's
it
not
can
between
also
you.
be
That
from.
it can be from in-laws to man. It could be domestic violence against the domestic. It could be violence against the children. You know, forms of violence, within what either intimate or illicit.
Thank you very much. Thank you again. So therefore, if your in-laws come and beat you up, it's domestic violence. If you beat up your housemaids and it's domestic violence, and so on and so forth. Any kind of violence, whether physical, emotional, psychological, financial, social, that happens, in a domestic setting is known as domestic violence.
Definitely.
Interesting stuff. Interesting. Now that we've set the stage, yeah,
Yeah.
let's move ahead. Um, um, we have told everybody that it's possible to have domestic violence without the bruises, without the black eyes and everything. And you have worked in this space for decades. What does domestic science, I mean domestic violence, look like really in our communities today?
Hmm. Ha. It's I circle for 35 years. Actually, be running my organization that works specifically on areas of science for the past 17 years. And I want to say that it is not something that it's not something to talk. Now, first of all, I need to talk a lot of things that leads to this why we have sort of agreed that the normal thing to now the way that we socialize. Let's give an example. A man that is when a male child is raised, not to cry, not to respond. Why are you crying? And then he's also raised to cope up with pain. You must be strong. You deal with her. And then you also in the process of we never sit down to take these kids across every form. We are just bothered. Oh, big enough. She's also yet she should get married. Nobody is telling her. We are also saying, big enough to have a wife. The father is not interacting with the this in terms of relationship. This is what you should expect. And so you see people just going in there and acting as if, oh, I have seen my mother not cry when my father is beating her. So I have seen where my mother is insulting my father the way. So it's normal, or it's my father. It's normal. So, but nobody is. I remember. Let me just share an example of a relationship that came to me. They asked me to come and a huge church, almost about 100 people. And they said I should come and talk about. I have a background in medical field. I should come and talk about hypertension. And so I told them, I said, you people are already, but what work did you do for your children? Not stop when you are old. How did you raise your kids to look at the future, not just providing and not? How do you see? How do you raise your child? How did you raise the boys to respect the girl in the home? How did you raise the girl not to accept bullying and all to do that? And they were looking and said, so if you haven't done it, that means your old age is good. You are going to be having BP because they'll keep telling you, hey, look at what is doing. Oh, what is doing because we have been quiet ever. And it's the truth. Who socializes the students and ask questions? Give them to be able to socialize parents very well. We don't care about it. All we are wanted, oh, is it Igbo land? Is it from land? Is it from Yoruba land? I want the persons to marry. No. What of body care? What of the person's skill? What of all other need to put into place? So in terms of we are having, yes, but we are more able to report and it goes back to the fact that men are socialized. And so more women are able to speak up, express themselves, and all that. So men don't speak up. Created a center where I'm beginning to say, Mrs. Ironsi, before I know you will come after come and talk to my wife. This thing is happening. So you need to create form where the men can walk in. After this country, there's sections where couple can go. And right now, I'm having issues with husband talking to him. He's not ready. Or the husband can walk. We need to create such where young ones, men and women can walk in. This is what I'm going to. Before he gets using a cutlass or something to hit the other. So what we have discovered, a lot of homes, like I used to tell people, there is no person on earth they can prove me. I don't have statistics, but to look at the volume of reports people talking about it, they have not faced one form of domestic violence. Or it just depends on the volume or the level with which that if that volume. Just take a when you are going on this, or maybe you are in the market. Say, come and buy something, and it touches your bum, but you know you. All right, or you are calling, hey, my wife. It's a 6 years old girl because you are, or somebody that comes to the family say, this is my wife. You don't do that. Those are all forms of those that at the end of the day is information on the girl's head or the boy's child's head. We are beginning to see all we are beginning to see just about a few weeks ago, a man who goes to somewhere mentioning so that they don't that it's all happening. That's the one we saw. Brings in some of the boys in for to let afraid of something before sleeping with the boy. I don't want to talk about fathers. They are not sexual violence, incest. We are beginning to see a house help being sexually abused. We have seen it in schools. We have seen it happening on the street. So these are all forms. There was a lady who was working in a very big, and suddenly the man said he was posted to a place doing very in Australia or somewhere, had a unit there. Husband said, "You are not going. Sit down. You are not going." And the woman sat down, obeyed the order. At the end of the day, in the process of going on in the family, the man had a stroke because he couldn't cope with the running the home. At the end of the day, that lady got back and was pushed to they transferred it to another country. After 4 years, he went to Zimbabwe. I said, "Sir, I have been moved again to another country. Do I go?" Is the man going? So the question is, what has happened? Did he need to be? Did he need a stroke before he knew that our women economically play a role? Oh, you don't need to. We should raise the guy ability and expect husbands must do this. My husbands must do this. I don't have this man. This is not what it is. So the man has to determine whether it's sanitary towel. That is naturally what you should have. And you want to buy wig, you are waiting for a man to do for you. So when you are going to a relationship, there are basic things you should negotiate with. Who are you? I'm going to end my if he's comfortable, easy, and that's it. You your target, you set your responsibility, your what you cannot take. But most times we are wedding ceremony, marriage is longer. Marriage more of a lot of things that a bride, having a wedding that is 10 billion of what marriage is about. So, like I mentioned, I think that get this with UNICEF on the street. of Lagos, Osho, the bus stop. Come and see brain wasting away in all those bus stops. What is responsible? Separation. And you'll be amazed
Whoa.
who who are these children? You have children, their father are lecturers at university, their mothers are principals of schools, and all. Keep wondering. You think it's only the poor people, children are on the streets doing commercial sex? There is something that is. So we need to start educating people before they go into that, that family raising children. Ready to make sacrifice to encourage your partner to grow. Don't go in there. Don't bring.
Whoa. What a powerful submission. And honestly, this is something we all need to hear. I like the fact that you've taken in so many dimensions to this story so that everybody can see that it affects all of us in one way or another. And you've just spoken the honest gospel truth. Every single one of us has been a victim of domestic violence in one way or another, you know. But the thing is that sometimes because our own wounds don't bleed,
Yeah.
we don't classify it as domestic violence. And then the truth is, in my own personal observation, I think the wounds that don't even bleed are the hardest to heal. Because if it bleeds out, everybody will see it, and then you can go to hospital, they can treat you. But the ones that don't bleed, you're keeping silent, you're hiding it, and it's festering. And before you know it, we start all this talk about trauma, and then women going to Yaba left. I have always been of the position that living is a very um is actually a strength. To live is a strength. I think it's cowardice to stay and die, but that is my own opinion. Um, Thank you again, Bosse. You've educated me this morning, and I'm sure you've educated the majority of our guests as well. Um, let's talk about the big elephant in the room so that we can, take this conversation one after the other. Yeah. Um, and that will be culture and religion. You know, every time. I remember when I was getting married, one of the things my mother said to me was, Ezinne, take this stone and put in your heart. She had no stone, but metaphorically, said, take this
Mhm.
stone and put in your heart. Whatever your husband does, just be out. Whatever you see in your husband's house, be out. They don't return. We don't return. Once we go, we don't come back. You're not coming back. Oh, I'm like, today is supposed to be my happiest day on earth. I'm getting married. And this is the advice. It is not go, live, prosper, enjoy. The advice is go and begin to bear. Whatever you see, bear. That is also how me too, I am bearing here. Ha. So, and I'm sure that a lot of women were told the same thing, you know. So, and then when you leave culture, that's my mother telling me that in a family, nobody goes and comes back. That's family culture. Then there's societal culture people that will also come and tell you, this one and that one. Then there is a church that will say to you, pray. You're not praying enough. Enter your closet. Bear it. Do you know? And then they will start giving you this thing as if it's a badge of honor. Your father used to beat me, and your father's father was beating your grandmother. Do you not know that Mr. Okeke was beating Mrs. Okeke? Do you think are you the first? Eh? It is just too much education doing you. You're not very spiritual, and all of that, and all these things are chains that have held the women down. And then for the men, they also stigmatize them. Be a man. How can you say your wife is beating you? And you see a young man that was once vibrant, drying up, emaciating, and then we now keep saying, oh, it's just the responsibilities he has. You don't know that his wife is beating him every day, abusing him every day, practically wringing life out of the person, and you have no idea. So let's talk about this stuff. Let's talk about this because it's a big elephant. Sometimes people feel because if they go, they are not spiritual, they won't go to heaven. Forgetting that
Okay.
if they stay there and they kill them, they're not also going to go to heaven.
So let me say what to. I have been a marriage instructor, a marriage counselor in one of the largest church in Nigeria, which is the Catholic Church, for 28 years. And one thing in marriage counselor, and I take back a parenting, and in some places I take complete man. And I used to tell them there are generational things I would do and I will accept. Generational works, generational peace, generational love. But what I will not accept and I will not pray for is generational abuse. That's for the fact that my father, mother, and others have been beating my mother, so I should accept it. So I should take it. I'm not going to accept this kind of generational thing I want to accept. And I'm not also going to trust. And then even if it has been there, I'm going to break that. I say break this generational thing. I think part of the thing is also abuse. So I do know, really, culture and holds deep meaning for many people. It's not only in Nigeria or in Africa. Nigerian context, to be precise, culture and religion shape our identity, our family, our community values, norms, and societal. You will see somebody, he, where is he from? Is he Igbo? Say Igbo. Ah, I don't want you to marry Igbo. I'm married to Igbo. I remember one of my uncles called to go and marry Igbo. Hmm. Some Igbo, with the thing that have this country, Igbo can have a political in this world. Oh. I said, but I love this man now. What do I do? And when things are happening now, you see him. But that's not going to change the relationship for the past 30 years. All right. So I think that and some misinterpretation of religion have been used to justify silence. Just like you mentioned. In the Bible, you will hear uh, be submissive. All the marriage ceremonies, you see submissive, submissiveness. The husband work, submit. The husband say, you need to go to hospital. Sit down at home, submit. Be submissive. At the point of death, Osinachi submitted until she died. So I believe that even in the Bible, that wife submit to their husband. He talked to the husband, as Christ loved the church and that and gave his life for it. If I see a man who loves me, careful, why would I not submit to you?
Valid point.
I will submit to
Because you love a woman to submission. That's true.
it. You love me, you care for me, you are totally for me. Why will I not submit? So I used to tell the men that for your home, and the reason why most fall into because they see it as a competition. We are not doing competition. Men have some people have low self-esteem, especially when their wives are doing very they are, and I used to say, you can separate the children, the women. I'll ask, these men that we are talking about, these children, whose name are they bearing? Is the man's name, right? I get birth to Chino, so somebody is bearing the name. So Why don't you love me to participate, making sure that that lineage is good, is interesting, rather than threats? And then, like we are talking about culture, once the way we value wife also tells much how we value daughters. In some homes, daughters are not respected. Daughters are say, please come and go. And that's why you see they put high blood type, because you are a commodity that is going to trade. And so they are selling you off. They know that they won't come back to come and get, I mean, they can't pay back. So because of that, so when conflict, when I see husband and wife, they are telling me that, hey, I don't want to pack out and all that. I'm saying, where are your brothers? Please give me their number. Are you a brother to Nkechi? The wedding ceremony? He said yes. Now, and you join them in taking. So now come, this is the time. So there are several factors, cultural systems that keep maintaining this
Status quo.
to treat the man on how the woman. Let's take a very good example. If your in-law comes, my husband comes to my house, my family are going to treat him very well. Mr. Ironsi, hey, welcome to the store. Do we give you one? They will treat him right. I just want to treat it in some family. If the wife go to the, they're going to treat her as the way my family would treat him. No, because there's something about that. You are a wife, so you are, and so that's trans to not seeing love. If it's a property, why will I show love to anybody? So these are factors. And so in doing that whole idea of woman in totality, we need to start changing. Let's accept them as our own. There are some cultures, like in some cultures in Ebonyi State, for example, once you are married from another, you are seen as a, and so if I'm seen as, I want to work as a father's house. Those are the cultures. We have seen a lot of, let's look at even widowhood rights. The man dies, the woman must pay the 3 months to mourn the husband. But if the wife dies, fine, that same night, somebody already wanting him. Or what sin have we committed? You give me money and I turn it to a very nourishing one. I'm just giving an example. And you think you can't treat me well. You've gone out, back, right? Everything is set in, even with my work. You think I don't deserve this. It's the same 9 months, the same stem that my mother have carried me is the same. So what went wrong is the way I'm so, is the way the man is. So believe that this woman is inferior. So we need to start narrative that belief. I used to tell people when I outside the country, some of my friends gather, please come and talk to us. We need to talk to us. Okay, so let's even look at this. We don't nurture male children to participate in. Does hunger know who the man? And so you see our children going abroad, they can't cope. The men are still waiting those from here to be the wife and targets. Whereas you have been, Ezinne, if you bring out 1,000 naira and hold it, the 1,000 naira does not know who's holding it. But the 1,000 naira solve problems. So why would we depend the female child not making money? to solve the problem. During COVID, we saw it happening. It was the
Mm.
little that the women were doing that were surviving the house. They couldn't cope. So these are factors to a lot of. So this belief system, I'm not saying bride price is not good. My own bride price is what I can collect from my wallet and pay back.
Mine
But
was 17 naira.
so that respect is what I aim. I don't. I don't. It's not something that is negotiable, and you have to start from the very beginning. What is it you don't like? Women, girls, they don't negotiate. Don't take you insulting me and all that. This is it. But all we are talking is from a big family. Is this that? So you and what do you find? You meet with somebody that you interact with, that sees you as a slave, and then you go home. Your mother says, "That's how I was treated," and all that. Should that inherit that from you? So these are factors, and we try as much as possible. For example, when they social support center, if a woman comes to say, "This is what is going on in my family," I said, tell me. After telling me, I said, okay, go. I called the man. So what is happening? And by the time we are talking to this one, that 80% of them are victims of cultural and religious beliefs. I believe this is how a woman should. I believe a man is the one that's taking care of everything. Are you a chair? So if you want to buy a nice pen and you want to buy a cloth, you have to start waiting. That means you cannot even for the sick and you need to tell her you got to say that go, my husband, my husband is some men rather than react saying not do this, you see them because the pressure on them is high. Then again, the man who are your friends. I have seen friends say, my wife must be a friend to this. Why? Why? You and I, we spent so much time yesterday speaking for the first time or 2 days ago. We spent more than 1 hour talking on different issues. If I don't let go of what is in my heart, you don't let go what is in my heart. The people that bear the brunt are the people in my immediate home. Why do you determine who is my friend when your friend? So create a cycle that's good for you, that you can air yourself, that you can interact. There was a pastor who came to my, I went for a burial ceremony, and the pastor was crying vehemently. And what's the problem? You know what he told me? He said, I would have saved this woman.
Mm.
Explaining to me, I told her to go and deal with it. Pray. We're doing 10 years, middle prayer and all that. Not working on the causing those problems. And eventually the woman, and we all knew what. So these are that we must consider. They are saying this is what. So the culture needs to change. We need to engage culture gatekeepers to start interacting with this something. There are positive culture that we must reaching out to one another, celebrating one another, believing in one another, making sure that when you see the daughter of this person something wrong, no, that is good. I don't want to see you do that or that. Not that we are celebrating negative and we are saying it is culture. So these are factors that the religion, most people have misinterpreted. If you go to church, it's Tuesday, it's praying, 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 praying. What to change the man who smokes? Have you found a drunkard now? He has lost his job. His friends is telling him, no, he's not mad. And the best thing he wants to do is to so that he can forget his problem. But the problem with about being drunk is that once drunk, the alcohol gets in your face, you see the issues. And look at you, you have not been able to build skill. How well, what is it that is this person doing that can build action? That you are comparing yourself with that? What kind of peace does that person enjoy? So those are the things that we need to look at. So for me, culture is playing a very even but let's even go deep. Let's look at female genital mutilation practice, where uh, female children are right and the male children are not. And then you see in the home, the woman is not sexually cannot anything you. I've seen a lot coming to me from the excuse me, mama. This is a pastor. Please come, let me tell you. I discovered the woman. That's what the culture said. But there is no biological woman to be circumcised. But there is biological man should be affection because of the man should be able to enjoy his. But there was no reason for the man to be circumcised. In short, they can even do the deeper work, make sure that they and stitch it up and just put a little hole for the woman to make. And
You
there
know,
is the woman is not able to participate, not enjoying her sexual life, all that, then what happens? The man, and when the man goes out, the family support him because they believe that the man is a sex object, can marry, can have sex like that. You woman maintain. So these are cultural systems that is there, that is not playing a role, aggravating the group.
thank you. Thank you very much, honestly, because this is very candid talk and this is what we need. Um, this is 2025, and we've been talking about this for a very long time. And if we're still talking about it, then it means that we are not recording very giant strides yet, because it's even increasingly worrying more so now. Um, I don't think, in my own opinion, nobody should be hiding under culture, honestly, or even religion, as it were, because you've been trained. Yes, this is how you were trained, this is how it was done, but you know yourself. If only we can invest a little bit of time and a little bit of process into knowing ourselves, what we want, what we can take, what we cannot take. There's a word you used when you were talking earlier. You said negotiate with your spouse. We should actually sit down and negotiate what it is we want, because you're not a punching bag. Neither are you somebody that somebody should come and take out their own trauma on and all of that. And then we can't hide behind religion. That's the truth. If we want to survive and thrive. Because even the Bible says at some point that praying without good works is just like it's not working. So we can't
Hmm.
pray, 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 pray. You pray every day, then you come out and you smile publicly, and then you go back and you're crying. You deserve happiness. I think it starts from you loving yourself, and saying that, oh, I deserve a little bit more than this, and then stop being an enabler. That's the one that really hurts me. I do not understand where we got this concept of don't talk about it, don't tell anybody. They will
Hmm.
when you die, laugh at you when you die. They will still laugh at you when you're using concealer to be concealing the bruises on your face or on your body. They will still laugh at you when you begin to emaciate. So why don't you just let them laugh at you once and for all? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, this week alone, I've been very saddened. Um, this all over the news that the federal government pardoned someone who killed her husband in cold blood, just like that. You know, you begin to wonder what message is that sending. okay, you can go ahead and unalive someone, just by your spouse. After 1, 2, 3 years, you, by some connections, you now, you know, be uh pardoned. Maybe Osinachi's husband should also be pardoned. Those are the kind of things that we're talking about. We have to first of all have fear for the sanctity of life. We didn't create any, so we can't even begin to take any, and then we can't even begin to make somebody's child uncomfortable, male or female. I particularly like what you said. There is nobody you love, you absolutely love, and you speak the person's love language, who will not respect, love, submit to you willingly. That you don't have to come and start saying, "Do you know who I am?" and all of that. Submission shouldn't hurt. True love doesn't hurt. You know, if you find that you're in a situation or in a relationship, now they say with their situationships. So if you find that you're in a situationship or a relationship where you're constantly having to say, respect me, listen to me, you're not loving the person right. You should actually go and have a conversation and begin to negotiate some things for yourself, amicably, so it doesn't get out of
So,
hand.
Ezinne, let me just quickly
Thank you
say
so.
this. I'm a
Mhm.
family person. I think we need to change the situation because we cannot continuously be putting our male children into prison.
Your network is coming in and out.
Yes, and I don't know. Are you hearing me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, so I'm saying that there is need for us to. I don't want. I'm a family person, and I believe that if at this point in time we are seeing children killing their spouses and all that, is a direct information that those children were not raised properly. And so I think we should start thinking of how do we raise our children properly. And it goes back to this issue about when you are being abused, don't keep quiet. Let
Mhm.
it be
Mhm. Mhm.
addressed. Because most people keep quiet for a long time and the children are watching. They are seeing it. I've had a medical doctor who was almost going to kill a pharmacist. And what was the issue? This girl was working in Lagos, and the man came all the way from Kaduna as a doctor for internship in one of the hospitals here. And what happened? He said, okay, since we are from the same state, why don't you come and stay with me? And then they fell in love. And I won't say they fell in love. There's no love there. In the 6 months he came for his internship or one thing, he slapped her almost about 5 times. And they were still planning to get married. So I asked her, how many years do you intend to marry this man? I didn't say don't marry you. How long do you intend to marry this man? He said he can't tell. Okay, let's put some years. Let's say for 10 years. How many times in a month has he slapped you? He said he slapped her twice. I said, so let's multiply it
So
by
do the
number of
maths.
years. Then when I called the guy, because I always don't listen to one source of information, I called the guy. I said, why are you beating her? He said, she shouldn't talk when I'm talking because that's how I saw my father dealing with my mother. The father was a military man and he used to lock the mother in the guard room to confess that while he's at the war
Mm.
front or somewhere, he should confess whether he has not slept with somebody else. So he grew up to see that that's how the father deals with the wife. So if he's going to marry a wife, the wife must be responsive, must be submissive in quote. So,
That's why we need to be careful who we
so
marry.
that's
So you don't marry people
yes,
raised on
so that's one of
survival,
the things.
because they don't know love.
So that's one of the things we must do. We must ask questions. We must interact with one another. We must, because we really
Yeah,
need the family to sustain what God wants us to do, to
yeah.
procreate, to
It's-
to spread the words and all that. But if we are keep seeing divorce, killing, and all that, that means something is not working right.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah. There is a comment here that I want you to
Mm.
talk on. He says um sometimes the people you tell may not be helpful. Some will add fuel to the fire. I believe this person is writing this as the reason why women keep silent,
Yes,
or men also.
yes.
So I don't know, but I think that you just tell anybody. You should go and tell professionals who can actually
Well,
help you.
okay, so over years, after, and that's why I have that psychosocial support center. And I name it Ireti. Ireti means hope.
Hmm.
So we encourage people because we encourage people to come because I'm not a relation. I'm going to tell you as it is.
Yeah.
We have men there that is going to talk to man to say, come,
Hmm.
guy, this level you have taken is not going to work. We have trained psychotherapy. So if you are telling lies, we know. We have counselors there that will talk to you. Because after
Hmm.
several years, I have been saying, women speak up, men speak out when you are being when we are being abused. And I realized that they find it difficult to talk to their relations. How can you now go? Even the pastors. I'll give you an example. There was a pastor who was beating the wife, and the woman will make up, general overseer. She will make up, mama. She will make up and come to church every Sunday. Until one day he came, I requested for the general overseer to come. He said, who am I to invite him? So one day I called, I went to the police, I went to some other people, we went to the church. Testimony times, I raised my hand. I said, do you people know that this man beats his wife? So is it that
Ah,
pastor
church
that is
Abasa,
beating him?
you
Is
just
it the
scattered the church.
is it the pastor that beats his wife that is going to tell people now that man, why are you beating your wife? The highest thing the man will do is to go to another church. Of course, church is everywhere. After two houses, there's us church. You go. And so because they don't want to miss the people who brings the money into the church, they don't talk to them. So we cannot continue like that. Even we are taking a lot of training to pastors' wives and pastors to say, look at these issues like this.
I dare tell
Not,
you that pastors'
not
wives and pastors are the most traumatized human beings I've ever met.
I'm in the
Some of
field
them.
and I will tell you,
And
I'm
they
in the
keep
field.
hiding.
I see them. If we have not interacted with a lot of people for the past 5 years, more than 3,000 people coming up to say this is what they are going
Because
through.
let's even be fair. Sunday, your husband is in church. Tuesday, he's doing midweek service. Thursday, he's doing deliverance. Friday, he's doing outreach. This one. So when is he a husband?
No, I'm not even if that's what is you people accept to do together. There's no problem. What is
So what I'm
husband?
saying is that you're bound to, as a woman, demand for his time, and he's
Mm,
going to respond that he's looking after the flock, and
mm.
that is already going to cause some friction in the house.
There
That's
are
where it
some.
starts.
Yes, there are some who knew that that's what the man does and they are willing to do that. But it is when they get inside, they realize that the man does not have time for them. And so they keep quiet, they don't talk.
Ah, okay. It's all right. So, Adebayo J, I hope you have gotten your answer. Please do not talk to people that don't talk to your relations. They may not know how to take sides and what to do. Please make sure you go speak to professionals like Bose and the rest of the people in that space. They will professionally handle whatever issues you have. The funniest thing is that the relation you or friend you might be talking to may be going through one or two herself or himself
Mhm.
and not even tell you about it as well. So you're triggering them as well when you go to them with your stories. So the best thing is to look for professionals to talk to. Okay. Now, this is why I like you in particular, Bosse, because you are You've worked with both the communities and you've also worked with policymakers. So you have a balanced view of what's going on, you know. So can you just tell us now, what does an effective response to domestic violence look like from the government and from everyday people? What should our response look like?
Okay, so um,
Okay.
are you
Yes, I
there?
can.
Hello,
Yes, we can hear you. Does everybody else, can you all hear her? The people on the stream?
hello.
I can hear you.
So I want to say that we always say that if you see something, you say something, and you do something immediately. You don't
Mhm.
keep quiet. So the immediate response is that it's a collective responsibility. If you are in a neighborhood and you hear a voice that is constantly say, please help me, or you observe that something is going on, that is not just good, maybe with the HACCP or with the children, you are a teacher, you are in school, you are a pastor, or you are a church member, you can perceive that something is going on, please report. Don't keep quiet, because when we keep keeping quiet, we keep keeping quiet, we will realize that we cannot, it will be so much, the impact will be so much that at the end of the day, we are not able to help this person. All right. So the first thing is to report. Like we have said, if it is within husband and wife, you can seek the presence of other people you know that they are comfortable, or you can go to come to our center or other groups that are working in this sector. All right. And we will be able to respond to you. We will talk to each of the partners. However, if you don't have to wait for too long, then you should also be very clear about the warning signs. When you are being called bad names, there's deprivation, you don't have access to the person, to your partner. Or even in schools, you see the children, they used to be very good at schools, they are no longer be effective in school, they are not interested in what is going on, then that tells you something is going on. So you need to help. It should be a collective responsibility. Everybody, including you and I, and those who are listening, be a mandated reporter. Don't keep quiet. We know that there are structures in place that are not helping matters. For example, if you go to the police station, the police will tell you, madam, waiting you will wear. Wait time you go out. Why did you go out and come back at that time? So you don't know he's a man, he must come out. You are not considering the impact it will have on the children. Please, men, set standards, not aggressive standards. When I mean standards, you say everybody must be coming home by 10 o'clock. Please, you should be home by 9:30. Because the children and everybody learn by what you do and not what you say. Children learn from what they see you do and not what you tell them. You must not do this, and yet you are not doing it. So you should be ready. Parenting is it's a process, it's a lifelong process that you must be willing and ready to sacrifice for your kids. If you have misunderstanding, go into the bedroom and sit down and tell your partner, this is what I don't like, and deal with it. But if you see that it's getting out of hand, reach out to us. Reach out to people. There are people who are doing mediation. There's citizen mediation center where they can come to you and mediate into issues. All right? Then don't be telling everybody, hello. I used to tell parents in the church, hello, yes, Mr. Anjoku, where are you? I'm in Abuja, and you are in Lagos. Your children are by the side. They are not going to tell you, say, "Ah, so this papa they tell her, but you are in Lagos now." They won't tell you, they won't tell to your face. So it's the way you live that will determine how your life will be. And please, resources. between husband and wife should be geared towards solving the problem of resources. I see a lot of men still making the same mistake. They don't write will. The reason why they don't write will is because they believe that if I write will, it's my wife that will benefit from. Who says that it's the wife that it is not the
Who
wife that will
else
die
should
first?
benefit anyway?
At the end of the day, you have suffered, you have struggled, you have done everything. It is your brother that is sitting down who don't want to do anything with himself. You gave birth to the 3 kids and 4 kids. He is giving birth to 12 children. And yet, you are writing will and he's your next of kin.
And they will
And you have your
disinherit your
children.
family.
You don't want to put your wife, you don't want to put your children. So these are factors. See, how do you create the love within the home? You have properties, you are naming them Mr. Unjoku's property. And of course, you know your culture that once you are no more, all your family will now come and see that. I have seen women who suffered
Every
with their
male in your
husband
family is
at the
Mr.
end of the day,
Njoku,
when the man dies,
Yeah,
the family
yeah,
drive her out. When
yeah,
I was doing that research, I walk in brothels. I see some women there with children that the families are driven away because they didn't have a male child. You know what your culture is. You are the one who put the children there. So there are a
yeah.
lot of learning that we need to learn when we are dealing with issues of family. Family needs to grow. They need to learn. So in doing that,
So,
there are a lot of things that we do, and that's why I had to go and establish that psychosocial support center. It's for family to walk in, be able to talk to us, be able for us to see it from a different perspective. And at the end of the day, some of them, after about 6 weeks, interaction, you see them coming up to say, "Oh, Mrs. Ironsi, thank you very much," or Ireti Resource Center, "Thank you very much." Recently, 30th of September, Lagos State gave us an award as the most responsive holistic
yes,
organization
I saw that.
when it comes
Congratulations
to
again.
responding to issues of
Yeah,
gender-based violence in Lagos
yeah.
State. Why?
Congratulations.
Because as you are coming, we are not criticizing the woman, we are not judgmental. Your confidentiality is important. I'm not going to mention Mr. A came to my no. And then we manage your mental state, the woman, because most majority of them, what happens is that their mental state are disturbed. They can't even take care of the children, they can't even take care of the home. And recently, we also have a safe space for men. You need to see what the men were saying. They need help as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, they
Yes.
need help.
I
I
hear
must
that
say
all
it.
the time at every conference. I'm told
So
you're
thank you
building
so
up the
much.
women. What of the men?
I'm not hearing
So
you any longer.
yeah. Thank you very much. It is very, very true what you're saying. The job for ensuring that we move past this stigma, this past this issue, it's for every hand to be on deck. You know, if you see something, you say something. If you see something, you do something. You report it. You know, the truth is, when you don't, you are an enabler. You are enabling what you shouldn't enable. You know, someone here said, um, okay, I hope she comes right back. Bosse has gone off, but her camera is still on, so I hope she comes right back. So, someone said, um, abuse thrives in silence and secrecy. We have to learn to speak out. We obviously have to do that. We need to learn to speak out. Once you do not speak about things that you've seen, you become an enabler. And once someone is abusing you and you're keeping quiet about it, you're hiding for the person because of this and that, you're also making the person you're you're making the person grow more muscles because the person now knows that you're not going to say anything, you're not going to do anything, you won't tell anyone, nobody is going to call him or her to order. So the person will continue to abuse you. So one of the weapons we have against the abuser is speak up and on time. There are numbers to organizations that are here to help, so you seek help. And I keep saying it boils down to you loving yourself enough to say, no, me, I'm not going to be anybody's punching bag, emotionally, psychologically, financially. You not letting me into your life. Infidelity is you not telling me how much money you have, we have. Infidelity is you not giving me access to your network. Infidelity is me not knowing who to call from your own network should something happen to you. You know, we all keep on thinking, oh, so he slept with a woman. Infidelity, he has a mistress, he has a side chick, he has a baby mama. The bigger infidelity for me, as far as I'm concerned, is that I'm doing life with you because that is what it is. And then I find that I'm the only one in the life. I'm the one that will fall down and I'm the one that will stand up. I'm the one that will pour myself water. I'm the one that will do everything. I don't even know one friend of yours to call for anything. I cannot determine, okay, this life that we're living together, what's our financial state? How are we doing? Do we have money? Do we not have money? I'm just there in my own life. Are you your own in your own life and your head and I'm neck? That for me is domestic violence. That for me is domestic violence. And I think women and
As for
yes, boss, you can take it from me. You
yes,
can take over.
I want to say that there is no human being that should be raised to be inability.
I can't hear
There is
you.
no, I'm saying that there is no woman, no child that should be raised to be independent to somebody else. You hear that? So because if we encourage that, it will still come to the father. The man sees himself as the sole provider, and the woman sees herself as the receiver. What could provide 50-50? And they say in what you are doing. Do you understand? Because that is where the respect comes in. When you don't have a stable, we have been hearing people say, "What are you bringing to the table?" Me, I used to tell people, I on the table. If there are 4 legs, I have 2 legs in the table, and the man 2 legs in the table. Do you understand? To keep the table stand.
Yeah.
So don't put yourself as, no, I don't want to be at the table. You have to be at the table. Just give the leg that will stand the table. So that we don't have, I don't think children come. Okay, so let's people just face it.
Boss, your network is glitching.
It's not my network. My network is very stable.
Honestly, people on the stream are saying they can't hear us.
But I can hear you very well.
That me and you, we can hear ourselves, but they cannot hear us. So let's start again. Thank you for the feedback. Can you please, if it's better now, let us know. Boss, please go ahead.
Is it better now?
I can hear you better, but they will be the ones to tell us.
Okay.
Just keep talking. They will tell us.
Okay, so that's my take in it. I'm not going to sit here and encourage one sex to be dependent on the other. No. Let both of them is to be ready. Let me take a situation where the man is no longer there and there is 4 children to be cared for. Who takes the responsibility? If the man is the one that has always been the one that is negotiate everything. The number of kids, when you build your house, and all that, how you spend your holidays. These are things because everything revolve around you as an individual. It's not just one that is taking that decision. He is going to take that decision because he has the resources. Probably you want to go to the village.
Okay, you're
For
frozen
this
right
Christmas.
now. I hope she comes right back. Thank you for that feedback. I hope she comes back and then we can complete and conclude this episode. Because what we need to talk about now is now moving from pain to purpose to be able to heal and move on. From everything that we're talking, welcome back, Bosse. From everything that we're
Yes.
talking, is so glaring that we need to be intentional as parents, because most of us now, people in our generation, are citing that this is what their parents did. This is how they saw their father behave. This is how they saw their mother behave. And so that's why they are behaving like that. That's why I'm behaving the way I'm behaving. That's why the other man over there is behaving the way he's behaving. So we need to change these dynamics by intentionally raising our children with love, intentionally saying to our children, this is not the way to go. And not just saying, but, modeling it for them so that it does not continue to perpetuate itself in their own generation, in their own futures. Because honestly, it gets incrementally worse. So we must intentionally say no, not on our watches, and be there for our children and raise them with love and then teach them how to love themselves first and then love another person. I am of the opinion that the woman is not supposed to be loving anybody. Oh. What the Bible says is respect your spouse. Obviously, someone you respect, you will grow to love later. But, I think when we lead with love, there's always a problem. So please look for a man that you can respect, who loves you. Then inside the relationship, you can fall in love with him. That's okay because once we fall in love, we are completely finished. That's when you can actually even carry your destiny and dash it to the person, you know.
So
But
let's say
let's
when you're
make
talking about yes, when you are talking about being intentional, it still goes back to the home, the
mhm,
family. In the family, let the boys respect the girls. If they learn to respect their sisters, they will learn to respect their wives.
their
If
wives.
the,
Exactly.
yes, if the wife, if the daughter or the sister knows how to respect the brother, she will learn how to respect the husband in her life.
The husband.
The
Yeah.
brother know how to
Yeah.
pamper the sister. If the father knows how to pamper the daughter, pamper the sister, they will know how to pamper their wife. So that is the intentionality I want us to, to do. And the intentionality is also to make sure that we raise the boys without hindrance, we raise the girls without hindrance. Don't limit one to another. When you limit the guy, no, you can't do that. You are a boy. Oh, no, you can't do that. You are a girl. You are limiting them. Because at the end of the day, when they go back to the world, they are going to meet different people. And if you and I are intentional in raising our kids, one way or the other, there is a way they are going to find themselves because they will know what they are looking for. They will see it. All right? They will see it. And that is why you see some children say, Daddy, I don't care where this child is coming from, whether it's Igbo or Hausa or Yoruba, I'm going to marry because it meets my standard. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I think we parents, this generation or our generation, what we can still do to change the narrative is to make sure that we are intentional. And then also I want to say that please, community people, don't be a bystander. Don't watch and say it doesn't concern me. Before, communal living was very interesting. If I see Ezinne's child misbehaving, I will call her. Why are you doing this? But now everybody, we are so independent. We don't want anything to interact with each other.
Exactly.
So
And the funniest thing, you take a picture of the child and post on social media and say random post.
you find out. So and then all those cultures that we respect and all that. I just ask myself, now we are beginning to see a father sleeping with a 3 month old daughter. What has happened? What has gone wrong? And you see a woman living in that house to say, father, I have to be married. I used to tell them you are not in the married. You are in the war front. It's not married. So these are issues that we must be intentional is that we must be intentional to say we're going to speak out. We're not going to
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is by being intentional that we can cop some of these things. If we raise our kids with love, we can cop some of these things. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much. We have a comment here that says, ladies, there is a long distance between courtship and marriage. A long distance between courtship and marriage. And so we must learn to ride the curve very well and be very specific. You see, the truth is, if you believe you deserve better, you will always demand better, very gently, but very firmly demand better. A lot of us don't talk a lot during courtship. We just get carried away with the vavavoom. It's time,
definitely.
that is the time to talk, to establish a couple of things and make sure that the foundation is right. So let's wrap up. We've actually exceeded our time. Thank you for being patient. Um, please speak to the woman who might be listening to you right now, the one who is in pain but afraid to speak out, the one who is even on this charts commenting, but they beat the person this morning or they abused the person this morning. You know, what's your message to her? Where can
So,
she begin?
okay, so I want to say that whatever you are going through is not your fault. You have to first of all stop condemning yourself that you may be the one that is responsible for what you are seeing. And there is a lead way for you to set yourself free. And that is speak up. Tell somebody. Tell somebody that can help you. And I want to say that we are there at Ireti Resource. I don't know, Ezinne, if I can give them my phone number where they can reach us and talk to a counselor or somebody that can speak to them. You need somebody to talk to you. We believe you. Your confidentiality is guaranteed. And that we have a listening ear. We are not going to judge you. It is the society we find ourselves. But we can change it if we are determined by ourselves to say that enough is enough. If you keep thinking you can manage, you can deal with it, everybody will come for your burial ceremony. There's no reason why you should die for loving somebody. Most women say they are in that relationship because of children. You are actually not helping your children if you are in a toxic relationship, because the children are going to learn probably that's what it is. You can change the narrative. We can start speaking to the man. He might also be a victim of himself. He might not even know what he's also doing. He might be listening to friends, listening to relations and all that. If he hears any voice that says that is not right, he might change. What changing his attitude. And that's why I could say, resources. Have your resources. You can live your life the way you want it. But even if you don't have resources, you can start by learning a skill. grow. Please speak up.
Thank you.
Don't.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm going to give them a number they can reach our resource center. The number
So I
is,
see that we have in the studio a member of Women's Rights and Health Project.
yes, they can put
Um, could you please kindly type it out um, in the comment section so that it's visible to everybody, including those that will come after to watch the stream. So it will
okay.
be visible on all our platforms. Please go ahead. I see a representative of Women's Rights and Health Project. Please type that
Yes,
out
that's
and then let's put it everywhere so that it goes viral and people will know the number, and if possible even the address, so that or your handles, so that they can contact you immediately. Yeah, because that is the essence of this episode,
good
so that
program.
people will know where to reach and who to talk to. Thank you, Bosse. Thank you so much.
So I wanted to
As
say
you
that
were talking,
people would think that we are in Khartoum, but you'll be amazed. People from all across Lagos, Nigeria. Recently, we got about 5 people from Lekki coming into the center to just talk to us. And so we intentionally stayed in that environment for now because we want to create a safe space for women.
the person that needs help goes to where help is. That is the
Okay.
first point.
Mm,
So if help is at the end of the earth, you go there and get it. That's the important thing.
definitely.
So
Definitely.
healing starts because you believe you deserve better. You
Yeah.
deserve better, you go to where better can be found and you get it. So we will come to you. Every single one of us that needs you will come to you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Um thank you very much. It sounds very easy. Speak up, but it's also very hard. It takes courage. And I pray
Yeah.
courage for every woman to be able to speak up. I pray courage for you to love yourself enough to decide that not one more day will you stay in this kind of environment. The truth is, this I'm staying because of my children. I'm staying because of my children is the reason why
Mm,
we have domestic violence unbounding
mm.
plenty, because those children were raised in a toxic environment and those children are
Definitely.
toxic,
Mhm,
and all they know is domestic violence.
mhm,
So it might be best for you to live and save your children so that the cycle does not keep repeating, so that we don't keep calling generational costs where some of us we're the generational cycling around ourselves. Once we break the cycle, sanity comes in. Yeah.
mhm.
I do know that you've worked alongside many survivors who've turned their pain into purpose. I know you have many stories of women that have passed through you, through ERIT and everything, who are doing amazing right now. What lessons have they taught you about resilience and the human spirit?
So first, they were women that were tired of the situation they found themselves, and they needed to change it. Okay. And once they go through our therapy, especially our safe space therapy, you see some of them glowing, coming up again. So they women are powerful. They are strong beings, all right? But they have probably what have kept them is hearing any voices that they are not capable. So when they come and we say you are the best thing that can happen to yourself, you see them throwing away that belief system that, oh, so I'm worthless. So we have a session, what we normally do when they come in, we look at them, and then when they are passing out, it's like a passing out through a session. We make them up and say, look at yourself again. And some of them say, is this me? So I can believe in this. Because we need to speak to the inner self. We make them to travel to their inner self, their dreams, what they believe they can, what they thought they were able to do. And you see some of them saying, wow, you mean this is who I am?
Amazing stuff.
And we also saw some women that group, and you see some of them coming back to say, "Oh, thank you very much. This is what I have learned in these circumstances. This is what I'm planning to do for other women." And then my point is, women supporting women. We must learn to support one another. When a woman comes to you to say, "This is what you are not going to," and help where you can help. And help her, don't not have diminish her beyond where before. Most times that what women are with yes, that and they tell you that women will not like herself. I love all women, irrespective of who you are, where you are from. So we put that and that's it. You see some of them growing up, being happy, and their family coming together. Some of them are not willing to go back home. We don't judge them. They are we support financially where we need to. We kind of engage them with other organizations that have the power. And we never leave them. We keep them in our space to make them going on. There are women that, at the end of the day, we even go to court. We have won some cases on their behalf. And we actually support them if it is issue about arrest. We go to arrest who will be the perpetrators. We have gotten we have won some cases. And there are some cases that are still in courts. So we don't give up. We don't give up on people who have reached out to us. But you must be willing to help. You must be willing to take decisions that will help you. And that's what and that is what God says. You need to give up. Move yourself from that environment because you are the most beautiful thing that God has ever created. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Bose. Thank you. You can't be in that space and not have the kind of passion that you have. It's not possible. So I was just smiling and saying, look at this woman. Look at all the passion that she's putting into all of this. I love your submission. Pain can be a teacher, but it doesn't have to be a destination. We don't have to stop at pain. We have to move beyond pain and make something out of the pain that we have had to go through. You know, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for sharing from your heart. Thank you for sharing all of your experiences. I do believe that one or two on the stream today has gotten something that we can pass on to others as well. And this stream is going to be here forever and ever. So everybody can always come back and get a glean of what you taught and of the wealth of wisdom that you have. Now, dear woman, dear every woman all over the world, as we mark Domestic Violence Awareness Month, may we remember silence protects the abuser, not the abused. You're keeping quiet. You're protecting the abuser, not the abused. You know? And when you begin to talk cho cho cho, you're hurting the victim even further. So if you see something, say something, but say it to the appropriate people. To the appropriate people. If you're hurting, please reach out to the appropriate people. There is help. There is help. And there is healing. And like you've heard from Bosse, there is life after pain. A lot of women have gone on to thrive after being abused. It is only someone living that can tell a story. If you're dead, you're dead. If you're maimed or you lose a body part, I know that surgery can do a lot of stuff, but don't lose it. Don't stay to lose it. And let us begin to teach what we'd like to see. So let's become intentional in raising our own children so they don't keep perpetuating these acts of violence on their siblings, on their friends, and on their future spouses. Again, I thank you, Bose. You've been incredible. You have been incredible. I didn't expect anything less, and I'm so glad that we did this. And to everyone listening, remember the journey to becoming you often begins when you decide to stop shrinking and start living. Nothing should make you shrink. Nothing and no one should make you shrink. You're a star. We're told that we're all for signs and wonders. So please go out there and shine and start living. It confuses the devil. He's thrown so many things your ways. And then here you are, you've dressed up again, and you put your glasses on top of your head and you're up and about. He says, ah, look at this woman. I thought I crippled her last night. Era, shine, and keep shining. Live and keep living. Until I see you next time, please stay grounded, stay grateful, and keep rising. My name, as always, is Ezinne Kufrekanem, and from Boss and myself is Up You. Boss, I do like the Up You. Exactly. You got it. I love you. Thank you. Thank you for coming on the show. God bless you,
Bye.
ma'am. Yeah, bye.